really confront them. And I think people have a hard time in relationship really talking about what they want, what bothers them, their deep desires. I think they're scared that their partner might look at them differently. And I'm only talking about my experiences and what I feel and what I also project on what I do. Because I do the same thing. I don't talk about really my deep, what's really deep inside of me and what my expectations are, what I want to happen, what I want to explore, or what, And you're right. So maybe talking about them more often should be.
That is true.
Something we do.
Yeah, but people should do it every so often, because I'm telling you, people's expectations change. People might have one expectation today, but as they change, so does the expectation.
But then, and then you become monotonous and mundane. That affects relationships. When it becomes monotonous, mundane, the same thing over and over again. It's true. That's why you have to, like I say, go on vacations. Find something that you guys like to do, like like playing tennis or something, or like playing golf.
You're right.
Stuff like that.
Separating from each other. Something. Was it Wendy Williams had a reality TV star on her show, and she said that she's married now and her husband lives in Hollywood and she lives in LA, and it's the best time of their life. It works, because people have different ways about these things work. I don't know. Those relationships are changing, expectations are, and then society now dictates as well. Society sometimes creates the expectations in people's mind because they want what that person have, and they sell it so well.
Yeah. Some relationships are so good that you never thought you're gonna ever have problems. Like, I don't understand how people have problems. And then before you know it, you start going through what other people are going through.
Oh my God!
And
yes.
It hits you, and you're saying, "Oh my God, what hit me? I didn't expect this to affect my relationship."
It's human beings. I don't know. Maybe we don't have that awareness. We are just so into ourselves. So the other day I was trying. I always thought I was just an amazing, inviting, polite person. People just couldn't level with me. I'm like, I want to be like, I guess, Jesus. And I'm like, because lately I've been having some disagreements and arguments with some of my closest friends, and I'm like, why am I having this? I thought I was a great argumentator, great thinker, rational, and why am I have to be fighting with people? I don't expect it.
Yes, I don't expect it.
I know.
In relationships where it happens, I'm like, wow, it's crazy. Because some people don't like to face. It's interesting. Some people really have some type of chemical issue. Everyone does, I guess, and they just cannot deal with certain discussion or deep discussion or intense discussion.
That is true.
That is true. Yeah,
that is so true.
They'd rather talk to certain people about it. Like in a relationship, you have best friends outside of the relationship, and that's who you share your most intimate, deepest, certain things that you talk about that you don't necessarily talk to your partner about. I think that's a problem. Because you should be able to be raw and just yourself. This person seeing you naked and seeing the work, you should be able to express everything. But when you can't, it becomes stifling.
But because people compartmentalize their lives then, because then it is a matter of the self, and then people leave a piece of themselves in the bedroom. And then a piece of themselves.
No, it's because they're nervous.
They don't share themselves.
No, it's because they're nervous that their partner is going to look at them differently.
So they have not developed a certain level of vulnerability.
Yes, that's what's happening.
And they don't trust you enough.
Yeah.
To be vulnerable with you.
Yeah.
Because of power. They want because of the issue of power.
That's true.
It makes them appear weak. It gives this is really interesting. This is
like at one point I was telling myself, I should not let anyone know that I love them so much, because if they know that I love them so much, then they're going to take advantage. They're going to have the upper hand. I've had those thoughts, because you become too vulnerable when that happens.
it's so difficult to navigate life because that could be true. To be honest, that there are people who really take advantage of people who, love. But then that's true, Ricky. But at the same time, when you're in a it shouldn't be true. When you're in a relationship, you should. I just think people should be vulnerable. People should be self-aware.
But that's true love. When you get to that level, when you cross the level, that means people essentially never cross that level of true intimate love, because people think that intimate love is only when you have sex in the bedroom. Right? No, it's relationship way more than that.
I always tell people, what happened when you if the person can't have sex again?
Yeah,
There's that. I always tell people, I was in this relationship, and I always say, I choose to love you. It has to be beyond infatuation. I guess that's the basis, but then after a while, I choose you. It is a choice that I make.
Yeah. And then after that, you become so comfortable. For example, like the relationship that I've been in, I love the person because, one, yes, the first thing I see, I'm very visual, so I see that they're attractive to my eyes. Something about my chemical or my makeup or my mental draw me to that person when I see them initially and say, okay, fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I like, but then you're gonna see a lot of beautiful people. You can choose
true.
one of the many beautiful people, not choose any of them because they're sexy, beautiful, whatever. But for me, past that, I'm only sexual or I'm turned on a lot because of someone's not just what they look like or physical structure, but also their mind, their understanding, my ability to communicate with them, to just let myself go and be me and not worry about them judging me and stuff like that.
But that is interesting. Oh wow, this is interesting. Once you said that, you know what came to mind? Your background and your upbringing. I have to go there. What you saw and how you were socialized and how that impact and influence you as an individual and your expectations and so on and so forth. What you just said to me, because if I were to ask you about your mom and your dad, you had a mom and a dad, and oh my God, they had a very close relationship. They shared everything. I mean, for you, that was, as much as they had their issues, they were just this. They died. Daddy died marrying to mommy.
Yes.
They were married for years since they were 19, 20, 21. So and you were born when they were like 30 something, but they were. I mean, they had challenges, but at the same time, they were just. You saw how close and tight they were. Yeah.
I really felt like my dad had a lot of issues that he had to really work on, and especially throughout his marriage with at this time I worked with my mom. Yeah. And I was too young to know that. The only thing I know of him was very aggressive and stuff. But outside of that, I think my mom got to see the sweet and the tender, because he also had that.
Yes.
And everything, and my mom was, having a parent that's very religious and hopeful, extremely faithful. Mm-hmm. She really worked and prayed, and eventually got my father to a point of.
I love it.
Got our father to a point of tenderness.
Yes.
Apologetic for what he could have been. But at the end of the day, you can't look at what you could have been. You ask for forgiveness. You change while you're here, and he did.
He did.
So I have to give him credit for that. I can't hold him up because I was very upset with my parents. Because for me, that's my thing. I think it was also carried over in my adult life and my expectation of love and togetherness. But my parents, I remember when my parents came to the U.S. 10 years ago. I remember I was in Neptune and downstairs, and we were all in the basement.
Mommy and daddy? Oh, yes, Neptune, not Long Branch, sorry.
No, Neptune. They came down.
Ah.
Mom, Dad was here, then Mommy came just to visit because she was here for the entire summer. You know, Mommy, she had to deal with her man. So she came. It was great to see them because I have not seen my parents together in 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, So Renaldo, we're out there, and I think Shelly and Sheldon were playing video games or something, and or watching something. And then Mommy came up to the room, and Daddy was up there with us, and said, downstairs. Dad, I'm ready for you. And then he's like, okay, kids, duty call, your mother's call, grandma call. I'm gonna have to put out some good work.
What, he said that?
Yes.
Where was I? I was not here. No, I wasn't here at the time.
You weren't here yet.
Yes.
I guess it was maybe 11, 12 years ago.
Oh, wow.
You know,
And at that time one time I was in Florida. Different places,
Cayman
Islands, living. Yeah. Okay, wow, that's intense.
Yes, and I was like, ew, that's. You guys are the worst.
Oh, wow.
But we were all excited deep down. I was like, oh my God, you've been through that for so many years. I was like, wow, this is great. Yeah, and I really enjoyed it, and I got to experience that. My dad passed away, and I didn't get to talk to him and stuff. But that was a great experience.
I did not talk to Daddy at all. For me, it was like for me, it's even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't come to closure yet. But we're here talking with my twin brother. We're talking about relationships and expectations, and one thing that jumps out as we were talking earlier that we had to say, we had to put this on podcast, share it with the world, is that we have oftentimes say that when you get into relationships, what is important is to understand each other's expectations, because sometimes the clash of expectations can affect one's relationship, because you may have one expectation of yourself and in the relationship and one expectation of the other in the relationship, and then the other person may have a different expectation of himself and of yourself. And so therefore it's always good to establish initially expectations. The second thing we also discussed is the fact that people change. And as people change, expectations will change. And so that's why now we have to not only consider having some kind of relationship counseling and discussion at the outset, but probably every 2, 3, 4 or 5 years, constantly revisit expectations because people change, And this was quite interesting. Thank you for tuning in to the neoliberal round. And we will continue discussions. And if you guys have any comments, feedback, you can send an email to Renaldo McKenzie at theneoliberal.com. And
we should do part 2.
And we should do part 2 to this.
But we have to also look at how relationships are affected based on where you're from.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
Part of the neoliberal, if you want to keep it within that same overarching topic, you have to look at different aspects.
Well, we talk about everything at the neoliberal round. Relationships, sports.
Relationships, yes.
But today we wanted to talk about relationships,
Yeah.
And power. We also the issue of power came out.
Yeah. But, one thing which I want to also look at, we should also look at the next round we talk about is try to look at, people might want to see some statistics, especially during COVID. A lot of relationships were challenged, and a lot more. I want to look at the numbers. Like,
You're right.
How many relationships during 2019, 2021 has struggled or ended as opposed to before COVID, 2 weeks in that same period?
You're right.
Yeah, because I've just just friends and loved ones, their relationship has ended during COVID, and a lot because maybe they were rocky before, and then COVID magnified when they're together so much. But which is why I don't understand when relationship you should want to be with the person you love. But anyway, yeah.
Oh yeah, I suffered a breakup myself just at the end of. Oh my! I'm telling you, I guess I'm part of the statistics, the stats. But thank you guys for tuning in, and as I said, you can send feedback to the Neoliberal to myself, Renaldo McKenzie, or Ricardo McKenzie at Renaldo McKenzie at theneoliberal.com. Just so you know, and if you have information to share, comments, please send it to us. Thank you so much, guys, and continue to check out the book, Neoliberalism, Globalization, Income Inequality, Poverty and Resistance, and
By
Renaldo McKenzie.
Don't forget that.
And we also have it and it's worldwide. It's everywhere, guys. Everywhere. Kobo. What's Kobo? I don't even know what Kobo is, but I saw it on Kobo. Target, Amazon, Apple, Barnes and Noble, and the audiobook is out on the iTunes and on the Audible device. All right, guys, thank you so much, and stay tuned to the Neoliberal Round. Tomorrow we will continue our discussions. Have a great day.